3 years ago, extreme cold froze the world solid. For 3 years, I survived in this neighborhood on stockpiles and hard-earned skills. Half-starved people received shelter. Neighbors received my last food, while families with children or elderly people borrowed my heaters. Even after civilization fell, I still believed humanity survived. Kindness earned rewards. I was wrong. During the final month, the treacherous neighbor I had helped joined other families and broke in while I was sick. They stole everything, then abandoned me at -110 degrees Celsius. Waiting in the blizzard, I closed my eyes. My final tear froze. With death closing in, I swore that another life would never be wasted on sainthood. Then warmth surrounds me. This is my room. On August 15th, I am reborn. Then a vast space appears inside my mind, at least 10,000 cubic meters. Controlling it feels as natural as breathing. The space can even preserve whatever I put inside. Last time, supplies ran so low that hunger left me dizzy countless times. In this life, I won't repeat that mistake. Ordinary warmth fills my room, and I nearly cry. Nobody else knows extreme cold will swallow this place in 90 days. I make a survival list: shelter, supplies, defense, and energy. Not one of those four can be missing. I have my parents' detached suburban house, an 80 square meter basement, a storage space, and 90 days to prepare. That should be enough. Last time, I found Trent 3 days after the apocalypse. Starving and barely alive, Trent rubbed against my trouser leg, soft as cotton. For 3 years, my cat stayed beside me. Then he left me. This time, I won't leave him suffering until the apocalypse. I'm bringing Trent home now. Outside, the city bustles peacefully, but to me it's the calm before the storm. I head straight to Tianning Pet Hospital. The sun has already changed, exactly as it did before, only I understand what that means. A hospital worker brings out the cat I remember. Do you want to adopt him? I want him now. He used to fear people, but he really likes you. His name is Trent. My choice was made years ago. That night, I typed my entire plan onto the screen, line by line. The shelter was decided long ago. My parents' detached suburban house, far from the crowded city center. Few people live nearby. It's practically a gift from God. To fund it, I'm selling both downtown apartments. List both at 20% below market price. The agent: Miss Harper, that's almost 20% below market. Are you certain? Yes. Sell them as quickly as possible. Why such a hurry? It's extremely urgent. I don't care whether prices rise or fall, or whether I profit or lose. Profit doesn't matter now. I need cash. The apartments, my stocks and funds, and the savings my parents left me will finance my preparations. It's enough to turn the shelter into an impregnable fortress. It can buy decades of supplies. Last time, my uncle's family came first after the apocalypse. They broke into my storage room and helped outsiders carry away everything they could. My aunt: Sadie, you're selling the house? Are you short of money? Auntie has savings. Come over and sit with us. Her family now sits at the top of my watch list. Before spending that money, I need to inspect the underground shelter myself. In less than 1 day, both apartments sell for full payment, with ownership transferring within 7 days. Last time, I pinched every penny each month to cover those mortgages. Selling both at once lifts an enormous weight from me. An advisor: Miss Harper, your stocks are performing well. If you sell everything now, what about the funds? Their lockup period isn't over. Early withdrawal carries heavy fees. Minutes later, every holding is liquidated. Almost nothing remains except cash in my bank account. The apartment proceeds, my liquidated assets, my parents' savings, and the car money all land in my account. This is my first fortune since rebirth, and my first survival trump card. Last time, ability wasn't my problem. I simply never had enough resources. In that brutal winter, others fought for a single bite while I treasured every hidden can. Canned food was the apocalypse's greatest luxury. Now I calculate the stockpile: rice and flour by the ton, meat by the ton, bottled water, purification equipment, and fuel by the ton. Generators, batteries, and solar panels must provide at least 5 years of power. The order keeps growing. 10 tons of rice, thousands of boxes each of frozen beef, pork, and chicken, plus a container of fish. I add 2 diesel generators, 1 primary and 1 backup, with 5,000 liters of fuel. Once the apocalypse begins, these supplies will cost more than gold. I want enough for over a decade. The only drawback is my storage space. Even 10,000 cubic meters suddenly feels painfully small. For the first time since my rebirth, I return to this place. Below the house, the empty basement measures just 80 square meters. In 90 days, this ordinary basement becomes a 200 square meter shelter. Reinforced concrete grows 50 centimeters thick, while the roof exceeds 30. During the apocalypse, those plain walls will make it the safest place left. Inside are a control room, living quarters, equipment and storage rooms, a safety passage, and underfloor heating throughout. 3 blast-proof doors add bulletproof steel and firing ports. Independent electrical circuits draw power from both generators and storage batteries. Even at minus 100 degrees outside, the shelter stays at 25. Anyone attacking the doors with an axe won't even dent the bulletproof steel. Is this the builder? Sadie speaking. I've got work for you. High standards, tight deadline, absolute secrecy. Long time no see. What job is it? Reinforce my basement, pour concrete, install blast doors, and lay every heating pipe. That's no small job. $2 million for 30 days. The construction team must live on site. They'll stay enclosed and sign confidentiality agreements. What are you planning? Stockpiling for doomsday? Guess. $2 million buys 30 days, and the contractor promises, I'll personally ensure everything exceeds the blueprints. Deal. 88 days remain before the apocalypse. Elsewhere, the family gossip begins. Did you hear? Sadie's daughter sold both city houses and liquidated every stock. I don't know what she's planning. Sadie, long time no see. Your aunt misses you terribly. Her uncle. I heard you sold your houses. Any trouble? Her uncle presses on. Tell me if there's a problem. Your father died young. I'm your only family. Nothing's wrong. Her cousin cuts in. I'm 29, and my girlfriend won't marry without a house. I found one. Can you spend all that alone? We're family. We should share our good fortune. Their meaning is obvious, so I answer plainly. I won't lend you a single penny. Her uncle. What did you say? I won't lend a cent. How dare you? We're your only family. That lie ends here. These records show what you secretly transferred after my parents died. I just graduated, yet you moved one house to your son and took 300,000 yuan from the savings. The house was supposedly held in trust under his name. The transfer happened 3 days after my parents died. I was still a student. I hadn't even finished arranging their funeral, and you were already grabbing the house. From today onward, pretend you never had a niece. I'll pretend I never had relatives like you. Let's call it even. Sadie, you'll regret this. Once they leave, I have no relatives left, but I still have Trent, my cat, and the underground shelter. Our supplies are more than enough. The contractor also recommends an experienced designer for the concealed systems and brings his most reliable construction team. Construction starts the day after tomorrow. Survival won't mean fighting everyone later. My cleanest, most efficient option is removing every foreseeable weakness before the apocalypse arrives. The order is final. Every part of the renovation must meet these exact standards. Foundation work begins. By day 10, 50-centimeter walls stand around me, reinforced with more than twice the usual density of steel mesh. At the same time, top-grade concrete forms a roof slab 30 centimeters thick. If we're doing this, we'll do it right. With the foundation finished, 5 systems go in together: electricity, water, heating, ventilation, and drainage. Their pipes run along the walls and ceilings, and every joint receives its own seal and protective layer. Electric underfloor heating cables form an even spiral below. Reverse osmosis water purification equipment is installed in sequence throughout the unfinished shelter. Down here, every tiny detail could decide whether I survive. By day 77, the main construction is complete. 3 blast-proof doors arrive at the site. The outer steel door is 8 centimeters thick. Behind it, a second door sandwiches ceramic cores between bulletproof steel plates. The innermost door is airtight, with double sealing strips fitted around its frame. Low-pressure gas lines enter the courtyard wall. Pulse-driven net brackets and infrared cameras cover the yard corners and the porch. The crew adjusts every camera lens individually until all the angles are set. With the fortress finished, one truth is clear. Against the treacherous neighbor and the coming apocalypse, this is my only way out. One final word goes to the builders. Thank you. This is my fortress, and when the apocalypse freezes everything outside, it will be the only warm place left. Now the shelter is ready. The real stockpiling can finally begin. To keep the operation hidden, I spread the supplies around. 3 temporary warehouses receive separate shipments, and none of them connects to the others. The first warehouses take rice, flour, and cooking oil. These basic staples will keep me fed when ordinary supplies vanish. 5 tons of mixed grains follow, along with an entire truckload of reserve food. The second batch brings meat and canned goods, 2 containers of frozen food, then thousands of canned boxes. Seasonings matter just as much. In the apocalypse, plain rice cooked in water isn't truly living, it's merely survival. With seasonings, survival starts feeling like a life. Even milk tea stays on the menu. With these supplies, I can make it fresh. Supplies pile up exactly as planned. The third batch covers drinking water and energy. Bottles and barrels fill the warehouses beside purification equipment and spare filters. As long as snow melts, I'll still have clean drinking water. 2 generators, storage batteries, and retractable solar panels give me 3 safeguards. Even 3 cloudy months won't exhaust them. Should both generators fail, the batteries alone can carry the shelter for 2 or 3 months. The fourth batch covers clothing and daily necessities. Extreme cold gear protects me from head to toe, with everything needed for the frozen years ahead. Every single item is stockpiled in large quantities. In my previous life, even a cold or fever could turn fatal. Everything I gather now has one purpose: protecting the shelter, not causing trouble. So I stay busy, stockpiling every winter necessity I can find. Altogether, these provisions will keep us supplied for a very long time. Temperature and humidity controls ensure nothing inside the storage space will ever spoil. Even the shelves outside are completely full. Seeing every shelf filled brings the same reassurance I remember from my previous life, yet through 3 whole years in that frozen world, Trent had been my only warmth. Do you want to adopt him? Yes, I want him now. He was wary of people before, but he really seems to like you. What's his name? His name is Trent. For one suspended moment, time itself seems to slow. Every encounter feels like a gentle confirmation that this life can still change. This time is different. Looking at Trent, I make him a promise. This time, I'll protect you. My resolve hardens. No one will ever touch you again. I'll repay the security I couldn't give Trent before, tenfold in this life. Once the apocalypse destroys the internet, books become our only knowledge source and our best entertainment. I store tens of thousands of movies, thousands of series, and hundreds of single-player games. The shelter's entertainment center isn't for showing off. These are true trump cards, crucial as food once the world closes in. Before rebirth, I lived only to stay alive. Now Trent gives me someone to care about. This time, we'll live well together. Then reports appear online about abnormal Arctic cooling. In August, Siberia suffers a frost so rare it should alarm everyone. Still, nobody takes the warning seriously. 45 days later, the temperature crashes through -20°C and keeps falling. Above us, the small building is only a decoy now. The real shelter lies beneath our feet. The final routine check before the apocalypse is complete. Battery life reaches 12 days, dual-path switching works normally, and the power system has ample redundancy. Now we wait. Temperature is stable, auxiliary heating is active, and the water meets standards. Air circulation and the power grid pass their tests. Alarms respond normally, every trap is active, and the defense check is complete. Every system is ready. The Meteorological Bureau issues a cold wave warning, but nobody on social media treats it seriously. Outside, it's 25°C. In half a month, it'll be -20. In 1 month, -80. After that, there won't be any more weather forecasts. The public's panic lasts only 2 or 3 days. Supermarkets restock, people return to work, and television shows keep playing. At home, I stop Trent. You can't eat spicy food. One night remains before the order of this world begins collapsing. At midnight, the bells will become the old world's elegy. The temperature starts falling 3 to 5°C each hour. Forecasts now expect it below -20 within 24 hours. The surface temperature is dropping abnormally. The disaster has arrived 3 days earlier than it did before. The apocalypse has truly arrived. Every shelter system remains normal as the powerful cold wave closes in. The radio broadcaster's broadcast offers cold comfort. Experts say this is a normal phenomenon. Alone in my sealed shelter, I keep remembering sunlight. It already feels impossibly distant, yet remains as clear as a dream. Down here, order is the first law of survival. Isolation makes every routine important. Inside my shelter, the smallest overlooked detail could now decide whether I live or die. Then relatives gather outside my sealed door. Sadie, open up. We're your family. I'm your second uncle, after all. The uncle keeps pleading. You can't just watch me die. A bitter laugh escapes me. On day 300, this is the first signal I've received from my family outside. Some farewells need no final conversation. I send them one answer. Go 800 meters east. There's an official temporary shelter with heating and supplies. Go there. Once they're gone, every monitor reads normal. Midnight approaches, and my shelter remains secure. Outside, it's -12°C. Down here, the temperature stays at 25. With Trent beside me, I murmur, sleep, sleep, it's safe here. The apocalypse has arrived, but my new world is only beginning. During its first 24 hours, the temperature crashes from 25 degrees Celsius to -20. Before this happened, nobody would have believed such a number. Across the internet, the same desperate message appears everywhere. Outside my shelter, our once quiet neighborhood descends into chaos overnight. The community becomes a vast refugee camp as the infrastructure everyone depended on starts failing, one system after another, beneath the deadly cold. Natural gas supplies collapse, heating stops, while frozen water pipes burst throughout the neighborhood. Every emergency plan anticipated an ordinary cold wave, never cold on this apocalyptic scale. Meanwhile, beneath all that chaos, my underground shelter remains steady at 25 degrees Celsius. Each day, I plan to fill several diary pages. Nobody needs to read them. They're simply proof that life continued through this endless winter. While people freeze outside, I remain comfortable in my shelter. That sounds cruel, but it's reality. During an apocalypse, comfort becomes the greatest luxury. By day 4, the temperature plunges to -43 degrees Celsius. The power grid completely collapses, leaving the entire city in darkness. Only my underground shelter remains brightly illuminated. On day 5, the temperature reaches -50 degrees Celsius. Without a heat source, hypothermia can become death within only minutes. A memory returns. The treacherous neighbor once pleaded, "Sadie, open up. My grandfather and child are freezing to death. Please let the child inside to warm up." "Sadie, all 8 of us are your neighbors. We won't cause trouble. We only need warmth." My answer stays firm. If I admit 8 people, what happens when another 18 or 28 arrive? My supplies are enough for one person. The stadium 3 streets east is now a shelter. Go there. Their pleading becomes a threat. "Open up or we'll break the door down." One person must have hoarded plenty, right? Bring everything out and share it. Showing the treacherous neighbor mercy would be like handing him a knife. This time, I won't give him another chance to stab me. The radio broadcaster's emergency broadcast reaches the shelter. Every stadium, subway station, and underground civil defense facility nationwide is now a temporary shelter, offering centralized heating and basic food. All citizens should proceed to the nearest shelter. I've recorded every shelter's address, but I won't leave. Past experience taught me exactly what awaits inside them. Instead of gambling my life on desperate strangers, I'll defend this fortress and survive the winter peacefully. In my previous life, I rushed to the stadium, where tens of thousands were packed together. After its heating failed, that shelter slowly collapsed. Every morning revealed more survivors who hadn't endured the night. That memory settles my choice. In this life, I'm never returning there. Back in the warm shelter, I keep Trent away from my drink. "You can't have alcohol. You've got your own happiness." We're fine. Outside signals keep reaching us, but some survivors will eventually return to the only nearby house still showing lights. Let them come. I'm waiting. Temporary shelters are already collapsing one after another. Their heating fails, and order disintegrates. Voices gather outside again. "Sadie, we know you're inside. Open the door and surrender your supplies. We'll spare your life." My defenses answer first. First warning, leave this property. One intruder scoffs. There are 6 of us. A long-range weapon cuts their confidence short. What was that? They're using long-range weapons. The warning comes again. This is your second warning, and your last. One attacker breaks immediately. I'm leaving. As they retreat, part of my hatred over those stolen supplies is finally repaid. Now everyone understands. Nobody will ever break into my shelter again. Outside, it's -70 degrees Celsius. Inside, another danger appears. The diesel supply is almost exhausted. Distress signals continue reaching my shelter. I hear every one of them, but never respond. That silence protects the rule keeping me alive. The difference between normal life and mere survival is having a plan and a bottom line. Outside, the world is near extinction. Inside my shelter, rows of lettuce keep growing. Nearby, thugs patrol on modified snowmobiles, controlling the frozen streets. Anyone with an underground bunker needs one rule: seal the door, never let the gang inside. My own bottom line is firm. I won't attack unless I'm attacked. Outside, extreme cold turns metal brittle as glass. Cracks ring through the empty streets, the soundtrack of my apocalypse. In my past life, ignorance about frostbite cost too many people their hands and feet. Now I preserve the knowledge that matters: proper rewarming, recognizing damage, and knowing when dead tissue requires amputation. That medical knowledge, especially treating necrosis and amputation, is worth more than food. My storage space is more than a warehouse. Zoning makes retrieval instant. One thought brings rice, meat, or medicine straight into my hands. Preservation tests prove time stops inside. Soup stored piping hot is still scalding a month later. That means I can cook huge batches in advance. See? That's the benefit of preservation. I can eat a hot meal anytime. Tracking their signals, I pinpoint the riot gang southeast of the shelter. Their force numbers about 100, divided among 4 teams. They have hunting rifles and modified vehicles, but their supplies are draining fast. As scarcity tightens its grip, conflict inside the gang keeps intensifying. The gang hasn't searched my house yet. One thug notices it stands apart. The boss's house looks different. Outside, it's a rabbit hole. Come out and talk. Pay protection. 1 barrel of diesel and 1 bag of rice. Then I won't come back. 1 barrel of diesel and 1 bag of rice sounds finite, but if I pay once, they'll return for a second payment. Don't be shameless. There are more than 10 of us. Can this broken door stop us? At the leader's count, they charge. 1, 2, 3, over the wall. The gang swarms over together, laughing and urging one another forward. Hurry up! Let's go! The road over the wall leads exactly where I intended. This trap was built for people, and the intruders have walked straight into it. Near the shelter, the gang's scouts listen. There's no noise. Yeah, what's wrong? The short-range scout wants to know who lives here. My identity remains hidden behind the silence. The radio broadcaster comes over the radio. The advance warning was handled well. This report concerns the labor platform. A large-scale conflict has continued in the southern district for over 72 hours. The remaining evacuation status is unknown. Supplies are exhausted. Command has collapsed. The radio broadcaster closes grimly. Today is the end of the world. Full moon. Minus 80 degrees Celsius. To every friend still alive, take care. Inside my warm shelter, I answer differently. Let's celebrate the doomsday full moon. I lift my drink toward Trent, my cat and only companion here. Cheers. For one evening, survival feels almost normal. Nationwide, 15 of 37 major shelters are confirmed completely destroyed. Beyond my wall, minus 80 degrees is a living hell. Inside, the temperature stays at 25. Heaven and hell now stand on opposite sides of one wall. With Trent beside me, I consider tomorrow. A lot of bad people may try breaking in to steal our supplies. But my defenses have changed. This time is different. Neither the treacherous neighbor nor the gang leader can get inside. A laugh escapes me at the thought. Outside, an attacker gives one final threat. Last warning, keep ignoring us, and we'll keep ramming your shelter. Behind the sealed door, I answer, who are you anyway? Then a stunned voice finds me alive. You're all right. Another report follows. According to multiple crew members, the headshot gang has completely evacuated. After a pause comes the grimmer detail. Those with head injuries have stopped moving. The supplier who promised 500 meters of industrial ceiling strips vanished 3 days ago. I'd paid a box of luncheon meat as the deposit. It wasn't a major loss, but the betrayal proved that promises mean nothing after the apocalypse. Worse, my backup electronic starter had failed because one crucial gear was missing and the supplier couldn't be reached. My only option was salvaging the gear from another old machine or finding a replacement myself. Even then, nobody knew how long it would last. Every supply chain backup carries hidden risks. Only a solution I can maintain myself is truly reliable. Memory alone can't manage this stockpile, so I build an electronic index with shelf numbers, contents, expiration dates, remaining quantities, and a full inventory. One scan shows what I need, how much remains, and exactly where it sits. Capacity isn't the storage space's greatest advantage. Retrieval is. Whatever I choose can be in my hand almost instantly. Anything stored arrives within 1 second. It's like carrying an entire supermarket everywhere. The hydroponic garden produces steadily, lettuce every 2 weeks, cherry tomatoes daily, and 5 or 6 strawberries are beginning to form. Fresh vegetables are an apocalyptic luxury, yet I can eat a freshly picked salad every day. Occasional SOS calls still go unanswered because indifference has nothing to do with it. It's the rule of this world. Each extra person adds risk. My supplies can last 20 years, but those 20 years were prepared for one person. Extreme cold reigns for 2 months. The temperature crashes to minus 100 degrees Celsius, turning the surface into a frozen no man's land. Over the radio, the broadcaster addresses whoever remains. To my friends still alive, if you have an underground stronghold, please keep holding on. His voice is much hoarser than last month. He never mentions his own condition. Instead, he reports that their hydroponic vegetables now cover every day's needs, with plenty left over. Staples drop under 1%, meat under 3%, and diesel usage totals about 1.5 liters. Before the apocalypse, the daily hustle consumed me. Now, despite everything outside, life feels peaceful. almost like one long vacation. 2 months in, the shelter remains intact, supplies stay plentiful, and Trent is healthy. Outside, the world is frozen solid. Mine still runs normally. I'm not merely surviving, I'm living. What does -100 degrees mean? Throw boiling water outside, and it becomes ice crystals before a single drop reaches the ground. Even the moisture in each breath freezes with a faint crackle. Exposed skin starts going numb after 5 seconds, yet my storage space does more than preserve warmth. Another test. I store freshly removed equipment, then retrieve it 3 hours later. Its unchanged state proves time flows differently inside. That lets me stock cooked meals, sterilized medical tools, and complete emergency kits in advance. Trent watches my experiment. So what? It's fine, right? Your curiosity never changes, Trent, before or after the apocalypse. Extra food for you today. The riot gang finally collapses. Some surrender, others flee, and the rest freeze to death along the road. Survivor signals keep dwindling, not because people found safety, but because they can no longer transmit. Then one breaks through. The signal is there. The radio broadcaster is humanity's last line of defense. While his broadcasts continue, people somewhere are still alive and holding on. Sometimes I wonder whether having this space and preparation in my past life could have changed how things ended for Trent and me. But dwelling on that changes nothing. What matters is that we're both here now. Today brings no new signals, and the temperature remains at -100 degrees. Over the static, if anyone hears me, wherever you are, hold on. As long as you're alive, there's hope. Alone, I answer, yes, hold on. The apocalypse teaches one essential lesson. Every machine eventually breaks. Knowing how to repair equipment is 100 times more valuable than knowing how to buy it. I've also built an emergency repair space. If damage blocks access to the storage room or critical equipment fails, one thought takes me into the repair space. With tools and replacement parts always ready, even repairs become more comfortable than ordinary life once was. During my past life, Trent never had enough food. This time, he finally gets to eat without ever facing hunger. Whenever the blizzard briefly subsides, the city outside looks completely unfamiliar. Thick ice smothers every building, reflecting an eerie blue-white light. The whole city resembles a ghost town, frozen in time. At -100 degrees, electronic damage accumulates. One after another, my exterior cameras begin failing. Heating bags, insulated covers, regular defrosting, I've tried everything. Still, every maintenance trip means challenging the lethal cold. Each time I step outside for maintenance, I'm racing the clock. 4 minutes is my safe operating limit at -100 degrees. Staying longer creates a dangerous illusion that the cold has become tolerable. The cold makes you think you've adapted. You haven't. Every trip outside drains my body, whether I notice or not. Trent spots the toll immediately. Do you think I can't see? In my past life, I couldn't protect Trent. This time, every meal reaches him safely, and he never has to fear hunger. Another status report reaches the radio. Shelter B still has heating. Shelter A is deserted. New signals vanish daily. Sometimes an entire channel falls silent. Sometimes a voice cuts off mid-sentence. I don't know whether they found somewhere safer or simply couldn't continue, but the city's surviving population is visibly shrinking. The hydroponics remains stable, yet every week I inspect root color, nutrient pH, and lighting duration. Every detail matters. After 3 months, stored strawberries retain the exact color, aroma, and taste they had on day 1. Dumpling skins remain chewy, their bottoms crisp. The space doesn't merely prevent spoilage, it locks everything's state completely. That means I can prepare huge batches ahead of time. Buns, dumplings, braised dishes, and baked goods, ready anytime. My apocalyptic quality of life depends on it. I bulk cook 100 dumplings, 50 steamed buns, 30 pies, and 10 pots of braised pork. Trent stares at the feast. Don't worry, it's all yours. 3 intensive days of cooking secure at least 3 months of hot meals, each available the instant I need it. It's the only photo of Trent and me from my previous life. With no print shops after the apocalypse, a passing vendor used a portable printer. I've carried the picture ever since. Now I don't need the photo. Trent is right here. Into the silent radio, I practice. I'm Sadie Harper. I'm safe inside the shelter. I never transmit these little updates. They remind me that I'm alone, alive, conscious, and still persevering. Silence is the greatest luxury. Outside cries can't reach me, nor the smell of burning. I don't shiver in darkness anymore. Here, I quietly read, drink tea, and keep Trent company. Fresh fruit makes this apocalypse feel almost luxuriously peaceful. The apples I hoarded before the apocalypse emerge from storage as fresh as the day they were picked. So do the oranges. Outside, civilization has collapsed. Inside, I'm eating fruit and watching movies. It feels impossible. That impossible contrast persists. Above the shelter, snow keeps piling higher. Without the structural reinforcements from my renovation, that crushing weight could have collapsed the roof. A radio plea. Is anyone there? I'm in the basement. Signals are fading. Perhaps they found shelter. This frequency's empty. I can't answer. Once this door opens, it'll never close again. The decision is cold-blooded, but right. Every shelf record must match its actual contents, item by item. 2 full days go into reorganizing the storeroom, grouping supplies by frequency of use and sorting them by shelf life. The hydroponic tomatoes taste far better than anything from a supermarket. Sunlight replaces hormones, nutrient solution replaces fertilizer, and every tomato ripens naturally. My hearing is far weaker than Trent's. Sometimes I hear nothing, but he's already sensed it. This time, it was only a branch snapping under snow. Still, I recheck every shelter escape route. Things seem stable now, but I'm preparing for the worst. If any door fails or the ventilation ducts block completely, I must know every inch of this shelter. Before the apocalypse, I was too busy for photo albums. Now, time is all I have. Each turned page carries me through time. What would they say from heaven, seeing me turn this old house into an apocalyptic fortress? They left me this house, and it kept me alive. That's enough. Outside, temperatures have settled below -1 degree and should keep dropping for 3 months. At -100 degrees Celsius, even bacteria struggle to survive. Outside, nothing can, but the shelter holds food, water, dumplings, books, and movies. I could live here forever. In this apocalyptic competition, 90 days of preparation win. In my previous life, freezing in the snow, I made one final vow. If I returned, I'd never play the saint again. This time, I didn't. I survived. No more thugs come. No relatives knock. No one needs me to save them. No one can hurt me. Eternal winter holds only Trent, me, and our 25-degree shelter. Snow keeps falling, burying human civilization and the city's noise beneath white silence. Deep below, Sadie and Trent live together in one small shelter. Inside, Trent and I stay warm. Then I review the failed transaction. The problem was my trust. I'd carried pre-apocalypse business habits into this ruined world, paying a deposit for a stranger's promise. The loss was small, but the lesson runs deep. From now on, every barter happens face-to-face, with no move made without a clear objective. Meanwhile, the backup generator's replacement gear has a limited lifespan. Before it fails, I need something sturdier. I've never modified an old motor, but I have blueprints, tools, and a reason to try. A 3mm difference sounds minor, but it leaves the motor unusable. Still, it's close. The right bushing solves it. When the generator's original gear finally breaks, this modified motor should take over and keep running beside me through every overtime repair. A laugh breaks the shelter's silence. Are you checking the ventilation system, Trent? The storage space preserves food, making shelf life less urgent. Packaging can still be damaged, though, so I inspect everything regularly. Meanwhile, preparing meals in bulk keeps getting easier. Each batch lasts a month. Whenever hunger strikes, I pull out a meal as fresh as the moment it left the pot. Chocolate is dangerous for Trent, so I make him special treats: dried chicken, fish floss, and homemade cat food. There's plenty of cat food left, but making it myself puts me at ease. The hydroponic nutrients once needed a timer switched by hand. Using spare old parts, I build an automatic pump. Every 6 hours, it circulates nutrients for 10 minutes. The system confirms automatic circulation is working normally. Without ordinary routines, time easily slips away. There are no sunrises, sunsets, commutes, or social plans anymore. Days blur together, so I enforce a schedule. That routine is my last defense against losing my mental balance. 10 minutes of decoding reveals an SOS repeating in Morse code, followed by coordinates 400 kilometers away. Through several meters of snow at -100 degrees Celsius, reaching them is impossible. Still, I record the coordinates in my notebook. Maybe someday they'll matter. Maybe that day will never come. Come on, Trent. I'll get you some canned food. Months of brutal cold and temperature swings strain the building more than expected. After 2 months, its once bright ceiling strips turn gray, aging and cracking. Low temperatures alone don't kill electronics. Repeated thermal stress from hot and cold cycles does. My shelter stays at 25 degrees Celsius. Outside reaches -100. Each exit brings violent thermal shock. The radio broadcaster is still there. Today's report, -105 degrees Celsius. No signs of life remain in the city. Even my equipment is almost finished. Whoever you are, hold on. As long as you're alive, hope remains. The radio broadcaster is this city's last information beacon. If that signal dies too, I'll finally be severed from the rest of the world. Sometimes Trent seems to sense every shift in my mood. Whenever my spirits sink, he finds me and offers quiet comfort. In this apocalypse, one small life beside me outweighs every possession. The hydroponic vegetables produce more than I expected. Lettuce yields 3 harvests before replanting. Spinach gives 2, and scallions seem endless, growing straight back whenever I cut them. Fresh salad, toast, and fried eggs taste worthy of any 5-star hotel now. Only the view differs. Beyond my window, there's no ocean, just a hellish blizzard at -100 degrees Celsius. I rotate older stored food out and replace it with each new batch. Preservation isn't the issue. The system lets me track how long every batch has been stored. Reviewing my records reveals details I missed the first time. Beyond these walls, reality now feels stranger than science fiction. Reading stories here makes that impossible world resonate differently. Every day, Trent patrols the whole shelter. Territorial instinct keeps him checking that every corner is safe and carries no unfamiliar scent. His route never varies. 3 months pass, yet the snow outside keeps climbing. In another month, it will bury the second-floor observation slit. Then my little building vanishes from the surface, leaving only a low mound of snow. The countdown to going completely underground begins. Once snow seals that second-floor slit, even the shelter's ground-level air exchange could suffer. So I inspect every ventilation duct connection. The intake heater prevents snow buildup, buying the circulation system more time. My storage space poses another limit. Retrieving objects drains enormous mental energy. 10 items at once is my maximum. Any more could cause trouble. A stray thought or interruption could send the retrieval off target. To keep my mind sharp, I play chess against myself. Both hands compete at full strength. Winning doesn't matter. What matters is keeping my brain from rusting. Everything wears out in the apocalypse. Clothes, shoes, backpacks, gloves. Instead of waiting for failure, I learned basic repair skills beforehand. Today's lesson is leather repair. It'll prove useful. Sometimes I simply sit still. The heater hums, Trent purrs, and music fills the shelter. Across 3 months, no major system fails. I change the engine oil once, update the hydroponics once, replace the nutrient formula once, and patch one crack with sealant. That's all. By day 180 of my rebirth, I've survived the hardest stretch. The shelter remains solid, with supplies for decades. Outside is a hell of -100 degrees Celsius. Inside, it's spring-like at 25, and Trent and I are home.